Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the commentary box for tonight's dose of racing action. I'm Sumo, your commentator for this evening, and I'm very sorry about the delay. It's very last minute coming into the box this evening, and then an update decided to put a dampener on everything despite being on time. But anyway, I'm bringing you the Tier 1 action once again, and it's round number 8 in the championship. We're already into qualifying at the moment, and we find ourselves at the US of A for a race around the circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. It's a 3.426 kilometer circuit with 20 corners, which see us on a lap around this track that has many high-speed corners, a long back straight, technical sections, and lots of elevation changes. Drivers will have to be careful of track limits throughout the lap, as the fastest way around is to use as much of the track as humanly possible to get the best out of the track and out of the car as well. And before we get too stuck in, let's go over to the standings now and just have a little look, see what the championship is fixing up to be in these late stages at the moment. It's Ghost then on top, my commentary buddy for Tier 2 on 110 points, leading the way in his Scuderia Alpha Tauri. With Lifebout on 85 points, with his Ferrari teammate of ET8 Chris on 72. Then we have Banter Brandon on 71. Then there's Jack Alaco leading the way for the best of the rest in the McLaren on 57 points. Then a point behind him is Red Flame Joe in the Mercedes. Then we have Rick in the McLaren on 55. Then there's Daphne Hillis, one of the previous Tier 2 champions on 44 points. Then we have Lawrence in the Alpine on 40 points. Speed Alcoholic on 39. Then we have Finley Liverpool, JBS Steve, MX, R. Mateo, Nice Job, RJ Blair, Wisburn, Ryan, I can't spell it. Ryan DePeven, I don't know, I'm going to call him Ryan, Dimos Leventis, Kieran Teat, Lil Manny Man, Lucas Seif, Core, Forest Jump, Palang Muhiti, Sweet Ross, me, on 3 points, Twitch Mavericks, and Derry on the points as well. So 30 drivers all on the scoreboard there, and many of those reserve drivers in the tier. Let's move over to the Constructors' Championship. 181 points then see Scuderia Alpha Tauri in the lead, the formidable pairing of Ghost and Banter Brandon. Then we have the Ferrari team on 157 points, and there's McLaren on 112. Then we have Mercedes AMG Petronas F1 team on 85 points, then there's Aston Martin on 71. Then we have Alfa Romeo 66. Alpine on 61, then we have the Red Bull Racing Team on 52, Williams on 39, and then the MoneyGram Haas Formula 1 team on 26 points. So that is how everything shakes up at the moment. It's like Ghost has got one hand on the trophy at the moment, but it's still all to play for. There's still points in contention at the moment, and it's, well, there's still 3 rounds to go. We've got Austin, then we've got Canada, and then we have Austria to round things off. So let's get stuck in to this qualifying session and welcome in everybody who's currently watching thus far. Hello, hello, hello. It's nice to have you here. The one person watching who has already left a like. Fantastic. Right, let's see. The Lifebout's leading the way at the moment. He's got a 32.4 on the board. Then we've got Finley Liverpool, 32.4 as well. Extremely close between the top 3 drivers, all in the 32.4s. And actually, it's extremely close between a lot of the top drivers. Only a few tenths covering them. Let's see what the gap to leader is. Only a second covering the top 11 or so. And that's Lifebout going faster. Maybe, no, that was Finley Liverpool getting ever closer. Or somebody went up there just now. But look at that, less than a tenth of a second on the top 5. That's incredible. Let's see who's out on a lap then at the moment. What have we got? Let's see, Williams going around the circuit that is. That's Madman Ollie Oliver. Gosh, I've not seen his face on the circuit for a little while, but he's starting a lap out there in the Williams. He's come through the crest of the hairpin of turn 1. It's up the hill braking zone, so you've got to brake a bit later than you normally can, and through these S's, careful not to invalidate the lap here. Very easily done, and using as much of the curb as possible as Lifebout goes that little bit faster. Then slowing it down now is Ollie Oliver coming through this right-left section, and then down the hill we go into a heavy braking zone and opening up onto the long back straight for the first of 2 DRS zones around this circuit, or perhaps the second one if you want to count it that way. So opening up the DRS now is the Williams, going to try and get as much top speed as we can going down here. Yellow flags as the driver's just pulling out of the way before the braking zone. I don't know who that is. It looked like a Red Bull, but braking just after the 100-meter board, using as much of the inside curb there as possible. And now we're into this more twisty technical section. Got to be very focused on your exits and thinking about the traction and laying down the power coming through this section of circuit. A tricky corner, this one. Easy to make a mistake on the exit. Looks like Ollie Oliver manages it well. Now through this corner here, very reminiscent of turn 8 at the Istanbul circuit. And then 2 more corners to flick around. A quick flick to the left for Ollie Oliver in the Williams. And then 1 more corner to round off the lap, focusing on the best exit possible. There's a little scrappy in there. Could have been a bit smoother, but it's a 33.2. Not going to be enough to see him up too many places, but it does join him in the second, well, gap to leader of being just under a second. And Jacalaco's actually out of this race. That is a shame for the Scotsman, as he's been having quite the season as far as leading the other drivers in the championship goes, fighting for the best of the rest at the moment. Let's see Lifebout into the pits. Don't speed Lifebout. That's an easy mistake to make. Finley Liverpool being a sufferer of track limits out there. I think he's on an out lap though, so you won't be too worried about that. But we're reeling down into the final few laps of this qualifying session now. So everybody's going to be trying to get their best possible runs in. Let's see which car's leading the way. It's a nice job on a lap. I don't think he is. I think he's coming in. He might have time to go round one more time. How about Core? Core's on an out lap. We'll follow along with the hat of Core then. Coming round. There's RJ on a lap right now. RJ is on a lap. It is 4/10 up, in fact. So we'll watch along with RJ Blair coming through in the sister Williams. We've watched his teammate take a trip around this circuit. I don't know. I can't remember exactly where RJ's from. I think it's. I want to say it was Philadelphia or somewhere, but I could be wrong, RJ. One of the our small American contingent gets himself a little bit closer to his teammate and improves himself ahead of Jacalaco, but only sees him up into P13. He'll be looking to break into the top 10 if he can. Let's see who else is out on circuit. Here's JBS Steve, a 10th up, looking to improve on his time. Doesn't quite do it in the Red Bull. Doesn't reserve a driver of JB. Who else is out on circuit right now? Finley Liverpool's about to start a lap. He'll hope to not invalidate this one. A little Manny Man's on an out lap as well. The other Red Bull is out there of Darth Hillis, previous Tier 2 champion, of course. Making his way around the circuit to start his final lap of the session. So we'll follow along with Core then, who should be completing his lap. We'll see where he is. He's just coming up to the end of the Sector 2. He's only 0.07 of a second up on his previous. He's looking to maybe jump JBS Steve or Lawrence perhaps, but this might not be a lap to see him into the top unless it's his third sector. That is letting him down. Let's see, coming through now, this 4 apexed corner, I suppose. Only wanting to hit the second and the fourth one really to get a decent line through there. Car number 7 running Kimi Raikkonen's number. Oh, a little slide as the back just kicks out for Core and he crosses the line 4/10 up. It does see him ahead of JBS Steve, but not the biggest of improvements out there on the circuit. That's RJ. Let's see who else is coming around the circuit right now. We've got an Alpine making their way around. There's all these outlaps, so the traffic might be a little bit crazy. It might be some traffic paradise out there. Yuki Tsunoda will be very displeased with that, and I'm sure Finley Liverpool will be if he has been caught up in it, but it looks like he's in a nice little pocket so he can get this lap done and on the table. He's only 1/100th of a second away from Lifebout, so it's very, very close toward the top as far as the times go. We'll put in the fast snaps. Oh, that's a big moment for Finley, and that's cost him. That's cost him the lap. I think it might have been abandoned way before then, but that was a huge snap. That is a huge shame for Finley, and I don't think he's going to have it left in the car to make another run. So I think that's his qualifying done and dusted. Let's see who else is out. Is JBS Steve starting a lap? No, he's coming into the pit lane. Who is the next driver to come across? There's so many out there on the circuit right now. Let's see. Arms just set the purple first sector. Rick's out on his first lap of the circuit as well. I think this is going to be Darth. Oh, he's got a Ferrari ahead of him. I don't think it's quite got in the way. Oh, that's a nice looking Ferrari, isn't it? It's got all the yellow on it from Monza, I think. But Darth has set his lap. I don't think he managed to improve on that one. Ollie Oliver's back out once again. Is that core coming around another time? It is. I don't think it's well advised. I'd have probably just peeled in. I mean, it's checkered flag for the Haas driver now. This is it. The final chance to set a fast lap. Yaron was lighting up the timing boards, but he's down now by 0.02 of a second. Let's see what the Alpine can do. He's not too far from the top runners. Is Johan, I think, brand new to the server today, so he's definitely doing well in that Alpine car. Coming round the final couple of corners now. Just one more corner to navigate. Can he get himself up into the top 5 with this run? No, not quite. That's a shame. Then Ghost. Is that Ghost who's just crossed the line? No, it was Banter Brandon's put himself up into P7. Then we got the 2 Alfa Romeos coming across the line. Finley's invalidated. That's huge. MX puts himself up into the top 4, but I think he invalidated as well. Lots of invalidations of laps going on. Ghost, he's invalidated his lap, so it's all over for him. Very deep into that final corner for the British driver and defending champion. Let's see, Lifeboat's out on the circuit. Can he get himself any further? I don't think he managed to improve on his lap. He was down by 1,000th of a second, so no huge improvement. That's Jay Hawes. Everybody's invalidating these laps. I told them to be careful of the track limits. The track limits are going to be what catches these drivers out. Who's out? 88 Chris goes on to pole position. 32.3 from 88 Chris, and then nice job, snatches it away. 32.270. Can Madman steal it as well? I think he improved, but I don't see where he went to. We'll find out in just a moment. Yeah, he did improve, but not up into the top places. So it's a nice job on pole position after an intense end to a great qualifying session. It was so close at the top. Less than 0.3 of a second covering the top 10 drivers. Absolutely incredible. So it's a nice job. Then he's going to be lining up alongside ET8 Chris in the Ferrari with his teammate in P3 just behind him, with Finley Liverpool lining up on P4, rounding off that second row. Then we've got Jay Halls and MX in row number 3. Then there's Ghost and Yaham with Rick and Banter Brandon rounding off your top 10. Then we got Ollie Oliver, Speed Alcoholic, Lawrence, RJ Blair, Jack Alaco, Daphne Hillis, Mercedes, F1 Core, JBS Steve, and Little Manny Man rounding off the grid. Oh, that was a very rushed and very intense qualifying session, but it was a lot of fun to witness. Now we've got a race on our hands, and I've been told it's dry for the race as well, so there's going to be no surprises with the weather, thankfully, for the drivers. So we should have a nice uninterrupted race, but of course the safety car could find its way out onto the track, and there could be some other moments, but this is APPF1, folks, and it's tier 1. There's always some drama going on somewhere, and I'm sure this is going to be a decent race. But we've got a few moments time. There's 4 people watching so far. If you've not done so already, please do leave a like. It does help me out a lot. And subscribe as well if you've not done so already. Hello to the 5th person who's just joined us. Hello, hello, hello. And if you're in the stream as well, watching along, if you're not a driver, I suppose you can always feel free to chime in on the live chat. That is also appreciated. Start up a conversation, folks. But we've got 5 red lights for the Grand Prix here in Austin, Texas, and we're underway. Looks like a decent start from Nice Job. ET8 Chris matched him as well, and it looks like the teammate of Lifeboat is going to go and challenge his fellow Ferrari and go around the outside. The 2 of them side by side as they go through. It looks a bit scrappy towards the back, but mostly clean as we go through. Nice Job leads the way. A decent start. Lifeboat's got ahead of his teammate now as well. There's a lot of shuffling going on. Ghost is down the order. There's a spun. That's Ollie Oliver, the Williams. He's spun round. Lots of carnage going on. That's Banter and Johan going side by side as they go through this S section. We'll take a look at the tyres in just a moment when everything seems to calm down. There's yellow flags. I think that's just for Madman, who's rejoined the circuit now. Banter's still battling away with the Alpine and Johan, the 2 Alpha Tauris. They are challenging this Alpine. Through they go at the moment, but it's one by one they go. Constantina effect as they come through these corners, but it looks like Speed Alcoholic's got a great exit. Looks like the Williams of RJ Blair's challenging Rick down in towards, I think that's turn 9 or 12. I can't quite remember, but here he goes down the inside, goes to Williams, gets himself up into P10. A great little move. MX is making moves. There's a lot of battling going on here. Side by side with the Haas now. It's Jay Hawes and MX going side by side through this section. The Haas now with the inside line. There's so much going on. I can't even comment on a lot of the strategy of the race here at the moment. It's MX, Yaram and Ghost all fighting here very close. I'm sorry, it's MX, Jay Hawes and Yaram all fighting very close to one another here. Still they go side by side, but finally MX gets the place and Jay Hawes yields to the German. What an opening lap. Let's take a look then. Let's have a look at the detail. A few places. Looks like RJ's been the biggest winner here at the moment. And again, Jay Hawes is challenging MX, who's defending that inside line. Going to run him out as wide as he dares through there, just onto the curb. Poor exit for him. Ghost losing a few places now. I think a poor exit into turn one. I didn't quite see what happened there, but not helpful for him. But let's take a look then at the tyre strategy. A lot of the drivers opting for the hard tyres, and there's about a handful of drivers, about 6 of them on the mediums. Then we have 2 drivers of RJ and Madman on the softs. That'll be why RJ's getting himself up there early, and maybe that's going to pay off for the American. We'll see. He's got himself up some early places, so we'll see what happens, but lots going on. Nice job has opened up that gap to almost a second there. Lifebout's going to be chasing him down if he can. And Ghost, well, this could be a bad round of the championship as far as points goes for Ghost if he can't get himself up any further. But there's still plenty of racing to be had, and all these drivers are very close. It's like Lawrence trying to find a way around Banter Brandon. Meanwhile, RJ Blair's trying to find a way around this Alpine, trying to get himself up into P7. Those soft tyres really working for him in his opening stages of the race. The American loving himself out there at his home Grand Prix. Just is run out wide by the Alpine there, but not too much to be mad about. They're still racing very close to one another. This is the closest battle on track. Rick's trying to find a way through here as well. He's just eating up these hard runners, is RJ. He's got the advantage. He may as well use it. This could be a great little race for the American if this manages to pull off for him. But how long do those soft tyres last? We'll have to wait and see as the race continues on. But down the inside goes RJ. He gets the job done at the braking, does he? He shows the door to the Alpine, just runs him out a little bit wide, and that gets him up into P7. He'll be focusing now on the house of Jay Hawes ahead, but I think he may have to turn his attention behind him, as Joham's not going to give this one up without a fight. I think he's staying close. There's a penalty for Jay Hawes. I think that's the first of many that we're going to get here. Lots of close battling going on. Speed and Ghost are having a fight back here. That's Jackalacco finding himself up into P15 with Little Manny Man, as we see on the helicopter shot. A great shot coming through. Then we got Core and Madman having a little fight. Madman caught back onto the pack now. It's Darth Hillis who's way down. But Madman on the soft tyres. He started on them, of course. And now we got MX and Jay Hawes. They're fighting once again. There's lots of fighting going on down this back straight, using the slipstream to great effect. RJ's lost out to Yaham once again. All of it's kicking off in the midfield here at the moment. Gosh. Here's Rick down the inside of Speed. Speed losing out to the Dutchman, but he gets a poor exit, and Speed gets a better one. Says, thank you very much, Rick. I'll take my place back from you. Gets himself back up into P9, chasing after RJ. I think RJ's tyres might start to be letting him down now a little bit. He doesn't look as racy as he was on the previous couple of laps, so he might be an early stop for him, perhaps onto the hards to go long into the race. Here comes Ghost trying to find a way past. Could this be 3 wide? Maybe Ghost down the inside of the McLaren gets the job done, but the McLaren's going to come back at it. They're so close to contact there, but just about. Ghost finds a way through. It looks like the 2 teammates might be working together here in the midfield to try and find their way through. Banter Brandon just having a sniff at the McLaren, trying to find his way through, filter through this traffic and get themselves up as high as they possibly can so that they can try and maximise their haul of points here this evening, as they're leading the championship, but they're way down on their rivals at the moment. They've got the Ferrari team who are challenging them directly, of course, who are, well, they're up in P2 and 3, while lamenting down a little bit are the AlphaTauri pair, who are in P10 and 12. So they need to get a wiggle on here if they are going to get themselves a good haul of points this evening. Anything else going on? Looks like there's some fighting going on once again. It's Banter Brandon this time getting the measure of Rick. Down the inside he goes on those medium tyres. There's a bit more grip than the McLaren. McLaren stays glued to the back of him. Maybe hoping for a mistake, but not from Banter Brandon this evening. He's got himself running there, running my racing number out there, of course. I'm glad to see the number 97 still represented in Tier 1, even if I can't race as much as I used to. But lots of battling still. Still making moves, keeping those tyres as well as he can. I'm not sure what the tyre wear's like around Kota, but he's up on his previous, and he's actually putting some pressure on Johan, perhaps, coming down this DRS straight. A nice train of cars here. It's all aboard the J Hawes train, it seems. As he is, I wouldn't say he's holding everybody up, but he's just sort of sitting there. It might become the Johan train if Johan can't catch up. There's a time penalty for Findlay Liverpool now. So 2 already in the first 5 laps. We'll see how many more we get tonight. Put it in the chat if you're able to. How many penalties do you think we're going to see tonight? I think a fair few. Meanwhile, Rick keeping with these AlphaTauris. Ghost is looking racy as well. He's a patient one, is Ghost. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to win races. Knows how to make up places, and will always be an exciting watch. He's putting the pressure on speed. There's no love lost between these two. They've had a lot of history in Tier 1 with each other, and I'm sure they're going to put on a little bit of a show, perhaps. Ghost getting very close to the back. Lock up on the front left for the AlphaTauri. He had to brake real late there to perhaps avoid going into the back of the Aston Martin, but manages to do it. Doesn't lose out too much. It's only a small one by the looks of things. RJ continuing to hold on, but I think he's going to be struggling, especially with the lack of ERS in the tank that he's got. Gosh, everyone has stayed so close together at the moment. MX is falling off the back. That won't be helpful for the track limits avoidance scheme. MX there, and Johan followed him as well. But no DRS for there. But Banter Brandon into the pit lane. Does he have damage? He could have gone longer on those softs, surely. On those mediums, even. Surely. What's going on with Banter Brandon? Into the pit lane, yeah, damage, front wing damage. It's going to go on to the hards then, fairly early. He might be able to get those to the end. He might be banking on a safety car coming out as well. It might bring him back in, but he's going to drop down to P18. Maybe even 19 if he comes out close enough to Core. I don't think so. He's come out now, and Core's only just crossed the line. So P18 it is for Banter Brandon. But the first to jump the gun. We'll see how that goes. He's got some clear air now, so he might get the undercut. Meanwhile, Lifeboat challenging for the lead. The two Ferraris are going to team up on this lone Mercedes, and Lifeboat now into the lead of this race, and it looks like his teammate's going to follow him through. Here comes Chris as well. Daddy inside late notice on. Nice job here, and they both get through. The two Ferraris mugging the lone Mercedes, who had no DRS to fight back. And he goes from first all the way down to third, losing 2 places in 1 corner. There's Jack Calaco fighting with JBS Steve. A nice little tussle going on here. This is Tier 2 versus Tier 1. Jack Calaco and JBS Steve, the two of them. Jacko with a nice little switchback. Says, thank you very much, JB. I'm going to get around you now and get myself up into P13 to try and catch up with his teammate. Jacko a little bit down on his race at the moment after retiring early from qualifying. Really, Liverpool up in contention now as well. There's a nice 4-car battle brewing here for the lead of this race. Are there going to be team orders at Ferrari? We'll be yet to find out. I must say, I do really like the yellow on the Ferrari livery. It does look very nice. I think it just adds to it a bit more. I think it's a nice little accent. It's not too much, not too little. Just the right amount, I think, on there. I like it. Can't wait to see it. I've not watched any of practice yet, actually. I should probably do that. But meanwhile, Speed Alcoholic under pressure. He's got RJ ahead of him. He's got Ghost behind him. No major moves yet, but Ghost knows what he's doing. It's the art of battling. It's psychological warfare. Is racing, getting in the mirrors of Speed, who's going to take the opportunity now, get himself up past RJ. Put a car between himself and Ghost. Will Ghost go for a late dive down the inside? I think RJ was just trying to cover it off a little bit. RJ's got no ERS left, really. Only 11% of the drivers around him. They've got enough to use. Ghost has the most advantage in this fight, but everyone seems to have used quite a bit, and I don't think ERS comes back quite so easily around this circuit. So you've really got to conserve it, you've really got to use it at the right moments. So use it only when you need it to get past other cars and maybe to push or keep up on certain occasions, but that's really it. You don't want to be using it willy-nilly, because then you lose it and then you don't have it until perhaps like a safety car or a pit stop. Then, you know, you've only got a limited amount to take around the circuit. You know, at the moment, it all seems fairly calm. All the cars sort of sticking in their DRS trains. I think Banter Brandon might have had it right with coming in early. It looks like he's gaining on Darth. In comes little Manny Man now in Aston Martin. I'd expect hard tyres from him. The hard tyres should be able to do 20 laps. We'll wait and see. I don't know if there's going to be any safety cars. Not really much battling going on. All the cars staying keeping it very calm. Lifeboat though is stretching out that lead. It's 1.1 seconds. ET8 Chris has got no ERS here. He's under threat really. Nice Job could come at him. Finley Liverpool could as well. But oh, that's a poor exit from Nice Job. Just wiggling over the line. That back end not very happy. He's the lone medium runner. Core gets himself a time penalty now. That's free this evening. But Nice Job looking a bit under pressure from the Alfa Romeo behind him. Got the DRS, of course, for now, but he's got a very... well, he hasn't got as much ERS as he'd like, but ET8 Chris has got even less than that, so ET8 is actually keeping him there. But I think Nice Job has just perhaps been a bit flustered after losing the lead, or a little bit shaky from Findlay coming out of the... is that one turn 12? I don't know. I should probably get a track map up. It's very unprofessional of me. That one's turn 12, so it's 11, 10, 9. There we go. So now we know. I had literally not much time to prepare at all. I saw the message once the invites had went out for the lobby, and then I said, yeah, I'll jump on. I was about to sit down, have a cup of tea and chill out, but now I'm here in the comms box watching the tier 1 guys go at it. And, well, they're having a bit of fun out there. Nice Job is putting the pressure on. Meanwhile, Speed and Johan going side by side through Sector 1. This can't end well, surely. The two of them go wheel to wheel. And Speed gets himself ahead. That was a great little move from the Alfa Romeo. And meanwhile, Nice Job is closing in. And I think Lifeboat slowed down a little bit. But there's a spin. Who's round? Who's Ghost out? Ghost out of the race. He's crashed. How has that happened, Ghost? Oh no, the championship leader out of the race. He's going to score no points this evening, and the safety car is here, and that is going to be helpful for the medium runners. They'll be able to come in. The hard runners a little bit stuffed there. They were expected to go much longer on this compounder tyre. Oh no, Ghost. Not the evening he had planned at all. I wish I could see replays. I wanted to know what happened. Did he come together with somebody? There was a lot of battling going on. I'm sure he'll be up in the chat in a minute. But wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well then, looks like the hard runners strapping on sets of mediums. I think a 2-stop might be forced here. Lifeboat leading the way. ET8's lost out after the double stack. It's a Nice Job now up into P2. Then there's Finley Liverpool up there as well. Just going to check that I'm heard on stream, but I'll be back in just a moment. Yes, I'm heard. Okay. I was panicking a little bit there, but it's all good. So everything's going to close up then. I'm hoping Ghost is now in the chat with us. I'm hoping he can tell us what happened. We'll see. Might have to try and do like more race interview. I mean, if Tier 1, if I was more consistent with Tier 1, then I would try and do race interviews if I could after races, even just with many drivers really, especially drivers who've crashed out perhaps. Just get them in, get them to talk about what happened and see what's going on. But yeah, that's a very early retirement from Ghost, and he will not be too happy about it. But these things happen in motorsport from time to time. It's not nice when it happens, but it is what it is. So if you are in the chat, guys, do let us know what happened. I'm very eager to know. Looks like we're going to get one more lap under the safety car, and then we're going to get going. We're just waiting for Mercedes F1 core to tag onto the back. But Mylander's still out on the track. Looks like the safety car's very slow out there. There we go. Let's see, why is this not live? It's just saying I've had a comment come in, but... Yes, Ghost, why not? Let's get you in. I'll blue screen everybody for just a moment, just to get Ghost into a party. There we go. Just wait then. Ghost is going to come join us in the comms box. Might be able to hear what happened. We'll have a co-commentator as well. So it's like Sumo Ghost taking over Tier 1 for the next part of the race. Lap 11 of 28. So approaching that halfway mark. Just waiting. Ghost, if you're still in, there he is. I can hear him just turning up.
Hello.
There we go. Hello, Ghost. What happened?
I had a skill issue. That's what happened. No contact, no nothing. I was just going round that corner and obviously put the throttle down too much, and I was in the wall. So yeah, second APP race in a row that I've crashed out. So it's not going ideally for me at the moment. My ELO is going to get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, I think Finley Liverpool's encroaching on your ELO or ELO.
Yeah, I think he's going to be #1 after this.
Wow, there you go then. Well, safety car's coming in then, Ghost, and Lifebout's leading the way. It's shaping up to be quite an interesting race. There's been quite the battle going on. The two Ferraris doing well up in P1 and 4 at the moment. ET8 Chris, he lost out. He'll get his ERS back, but he'll have to be a bit more sparing as he uses it coming through. But it's going to be Lifebout leading the way for everyone. I don't think it's much of a surprise after his qualifying session, but waiting for those green flags. Safety car's going to peel in. Then Lifebout can get this race underway. There he goes. Off goes that red Mercedes. When is the Ferrari going to punch it? Is he going to go early? I think he'll go just here and get this race back underway. There he goes. We're back under racing conditions, and Lifebout leads the way. Nobody really getting the jump, but we'll wait to see as they come down into the first corner as we go. Looks like RJ's getting himself involved with Rick here going down the inside. Is the Williams. He's having a great race. Is the home hero, but they're continuing side by side. A better exit for them as McLaren, and it sees him keep P9, but RJ's going to come back at him, is he?
Oh, very close between the two. It's been fantastic racing so far in this Grand Prix, and that was no different. Everyone's so close together now, and it's going to remain that way given how close quali was. But Lifebout already extending over a second to Job, who's started on the hards, and he's going to struggle to stay with the Ferrari in this early stage of what should be the final stint if there's not another safety car.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, nice job started on the mediums, and all the hard runners have had to switch over to the mediums a bit earlier than they would have liked. I think the mediums might make it to the end, but it will be a hard job as Speed now going with MX. That was very close between the two of them. They're going very high speeds. They're very close. MX just squeezing him as much as he dares and just keeps that place. That was a quick burst of action there.
Great racing, and Finley's gotten past Noise Job as well for P2 in the meantime at the same time. So a few position changes happening there. DRS still not enabled. Banter getting past Madman at the back as well. Go on, my son. My teammate picking up the points for AlphaTauri with me out, but he's just lost a place again. So, but now Madman is disconnected, so don't know what's going on. Oh, he's lagging all over the place. That's not ideal. Lawrence gets himself a penalty as well, but it's all happening at this restart.
Yes, it is, and I've been saying that there's going to be a lot of penalties tonight. I think it's going to be unavoidable. I wonder how many exactly there'll be. I'll be surprised if there's a driver left without one, to be honest. Looks like, I think, is Madman still in the session? I'm not sure. He's very, very laggy, though.
He's just really laggy,
yeah. I wouldn't want to be Jack or Banter right now.
No. No, not at all. As well, it looked like his car went off the circuit. I'm sure it's going to teleport back. Yeah, it is. So there's some really bad connection going on, and we might have to have a word with him about that. It's great to see him back in APP, but not really with that kind of connection, as Mercedes gets himself another 3-second penalty to bring him up to 6.
Oh dear, Yaham having a very decent debut out there. He's been getting himself stuck in, racing with everybody. He's been battling with Rick. He's been battling with Speed and MX, and just fighting up in the midfield, doing a great job in that Alpine. Meanwhile, Lawrence and Madman now going side by side. The laggy car of Madman getting himself ahead, and that's not what anyone wants to see, a laggy car in front of him. It's scary. It's nothing on Madman, really. It's just his internet connection.
Nice job, and Chris side by side through Sector 3. Chris on the outside as they go through the last few corners on the track. Noyce has stayed ahead, and that's crucial for him. He needs to stay ahead of these medium runners, or at least stay with them for now, because his hards will be better towards the end. As like you said, those people who started on the hards, they've had to go on the mediums, and it's not an ideal timing for them. And those mediums are going to be struggling towards the end.
Yeah, they'll need a safety car, really, if they want to stay somewhat competitive. I mean, the only hard runner really in the top 10 is Nice Job. Jackalacco is battling with Lawrence back here. There's a bit of a gaggle of cars being formed, but they're all stuck behind Madman. And they're side by side coming through Sector 1 now, and it looks like Jacko's got the better of Lawrence for now. Banter's trying to find a way through as well. I think he might have lost the place in all that action going on at the minute. But it's Lawrence and Jacko and Banter all fighting in toward the back end of the midfield. It looks like ET8 Chris is sticking with Nice Job. He's putting the pressure on. There's a bit of a train forming here, and I think ET8 Chris is going to make his move now. Opens up that DRS. Doesn't use overtake though, but he's going to go all the way down. Nice easy move, and here comes Jay Hawes perhaps. There's a fight going on behind him.
3 wide at the back. Yaham and Speed side by side through that left-hander. Speed still on the inside for the next corner, but has to back out. Yaham breaks late and gets ahead and stays P7. But some fantastic racing going on here in Tier 1. It's great to see, even if I'd rather be on the track.
Yeah, I mean, it just happens sometimes. You just have a little bit of a moment, you drop it, and then there you go. ETA Chris has finally got past the Nice Job then. Closing in on Finley now. He'll try to look to make it a 1-2 for Ferrari, and will, as long as the penalty situation goes his way. Lifebound not really leaving everyone behind. I think he's quite content to just manage that 1 second gap and just slowly eke it out. I think he knows that Finley's got a penalty behind him, and I don't think he's gonna try and push it all too much, because he won't want to get himself a penalty and then ruin all that work.
Yeah, Finley's penalty will be giving Lifebound a lot of comfort at this point, although Finley is not going to be happy because, I mean, given how close everyone is, that penalty would drop him down to something like P8, I think, as Brandon and Lawrence go side by side. Brandon overtaken through there. Must have been a mistake from the AlphaTauri driver, but everyone heading through down towards This tight left-hander Jay Hawes to the inside of Noise Job is going to have the DRS and get the move done, I think. The Haas up to P4, and Noise just going to have to try and stay with these medium runners, but it's going to be tricky for him to really gain the advantage out of those hards that he'll have at the end.
Yeah, he's going to have to be patient, I think. I don't think battling too hard is going to do him any favours. He's got to try and remember that these mediums will start reeling back in after a few laps, probably when we start reaching around lap 20, maybe even sooner than that. But I don't know, are the medium runners going to have to come in for a two-stop? Are they going to try and reach it out to the end? I mean, they have to, right?
Yeah, they've got to try it, because if they pit again, then they're just going to be sitting ducks to Noise Job. But I don't know. I don't know what the wear's going to be like, because I started on the hards as well, so I'm not certain what the mediums are going to be like, and how far they'll go. So we'll see. Someone's round. Yellow flags. That's it's probably lag. He's retired. He's retired from the session.
It's lag. I think he left.
Oh yeah, he's disconnected, and it's DNF'd him. It's the classic bug from this year's game. So that's a shame for him, but hopefully his connection will be better next week if he does come back. But Lifebout's still leading Chris right on the back of Finley, and I think this move is going to be made, but the ERS situation, everyone's so low in these top runners except for Lifebout. He's got 60%. Everyone else is flashing as Chris comes down the inside of the Alfa Romeo driver into P2, and it's a Ferrari 1-2. It's perfect stuff for them, but Finley switches back, tries to get the move done, but can't quite do it. MX and Noise going side by side as well, as MX down the inside of the Mercedes and gets the move done. Noise is just dropping over and over again here, but he's just got to wait for those hards to get into their window better than the mediums.
Yeah, he's got to be patient. He's got to wait for those hards to come back into their own and try not to battle too much. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot more wear out of the tyres than he'd like. And there's drivers with penalties ahead of him as well. He's got to remember that. So he'll make up places with those penalties ahead of him. But that's like Lifebout now trying to open up that gap, not even having to use much of his ERS because nobody behind him's got any to spare. There's so many red flashing lights, it's almost as if it's raining out there.
Yeah, exactly. Mercedes F1 Core has just spun round at the back as well, so he's down back behind Lil Manny Man now. But everyone else locked together except for Lifebout at the front. 2.4 seconds is the gap now. I think Chris's job now is to try and keep the others behind and secure the 1-2 for Ferrari as Jay Hawes gets past Finley, who's very, very deep. He must have gotten on a curb somewhere and lost out. He's lost 4 positions there in pretty much one little section. There's contact. Yarham hits the back of him as well. What's happening to Finley? He's got no throttle at all in that Alfa Romeo. It looks like it's fine now, but I don't know what happened to him there.
Yeah, just a moment of madness. I'm not sure exactly what happened. It was good of Yarham not to take advantage of the contact and just back off after making it, but it's not cost either of them too much. They're still in a fight here. There's we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. 7 as well, with speed closing in on it, all fighting over those remaining 2 places on the podium as Lifebout's opening it up. Looks like MX is dropping a little bit from Jay Hawes, wants to keep himself in contention for the podium, does the German driver, but he's got to push, he's got to try and stick with the Haas.
Yarham in.
Yarham's in the pits. Going for the undercut.
He doesn't feel like the mediums will make it. What about the others? Do they feel like he'll make it, or are they going to join him into the pits? It's surely going to be another set of mediums for Yarham. Maybe it'll be softs, actually. No, it is mediums for him. He might have had damage and tried to repair his wing as well, but the game didn't let him. That's another possibility. But who knows, really, what he was thinking, because he did go into the back of Finley fairly hard at that corner.
Yeah, I don't know if he does have any. There's no cosmetic damage that I can see on that Alpine. But we'll see. We'll see what the other drivers do. I don't see them coming in, but I don't know what the wear's like on these mediums. It could be a situation where we could be entering puncture territory, Ghost.
Yeah, we could well be. I mean, Like I said, I don't
Here
know
comes Jay
exactly what
Horse
the
down
weather's
the
like. Here he
inside on
goes.
ETA. He's going to go for it into turn 12. Gets the job done before the corner of the house up into P2. He does have that penalty to contend with, though. And ETA Chris will know that and won't fight him too hard. Finley Liverpool getting ahead of Nice Job as well. Nice going to go down the inside of 13 there. Still side by side are the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes as they go. Here comes the Mercedes going round again. Out inside line now for the Alfa Romeo side by side for this whole section they go. And it's Nice Job who comes out ahead after Finley makes a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, easy to get wheel spin going down the inside in that corner on the exit as Mannyman gets a penalty as well. But Finley Trackley pushing Nice Job through the penultimate corner there. Jay Hawes in the pits as well. So clearly they don't think the mediums will make it. So is it perfect for Nice Job, who started on the mediums unlike anyone else really? And here he comes down the inside. Is he going to make the move? I think he is. I don't think there's much Nice Job can do. He tries to hang it around the outside, but Finley gets by. And but Nice won't mind too much if he's seeing all these drivers on the mediums pit, and he's thinking, am I going to have something like a 15-second lead here?
Yeah, I think these mediums aren't going to make it. It seems a tyre wear doesn't seem to be doing too many favours. I think who came in very early? It was
Yaham.
No, before that, before you crashed, it was somebody else. Banter came in early from his
right.
from his, because I think he started on the mediums. He came in about lap 8 for the hards before the safety car, and I don't know if he might have to go into softs if it doesn't play out. But I think we could have a. Trying to remember what round it is, but it was Tier 2 Japan situation. With punctures being an ever-present threat, as it looks like Daphne Hillis is on the back of Jay Hawes after the pits. He's on those fresh tyres though, is the Haas, and has got some pace behind him too. Looks like he's just opening up Darth, but Darth is very close to the back of him.
Yeah, Jay Hawes just got past him on the straight. So Darth just struggling to stay in the race here. Finley gets another time penalty. He's up to 6 seconds. He did say he'd be getting a lot of time penalties here, and it's his prophecy is coming true. 6 seconds on the Alfa Romeo. Nice Job is within a second still, just about getting that DRS down towards turn 1. And he's going to be hoping all those in front do pit before the end, or at least get some really bad tyre wear. Jay Hawes up to P11 now as he fights his way back up the grid. Everyone's so close together.
Yeah, they are. It's opened up a little bit at the top. There's a few little skirmishes going on up and down the grid. Here's one of them. It's Banter Brandon and RJ Blair fighting over P8. Banter just staying with the Williams, who's had a great race out there. He's been getting his elbows out. How many places is he up on at the moment? Let's see. Position changes. He's up 6 places from the start.
Wow.
As well as Speed Alcoholic as well. So the pair of them have been charging their way through the field. But I think the likes of the hard runners, they might be in for it here, I think. They might be in for some places. Here comes Banter, though. He's got the DRS now. Got to pull along. We've seen this move all day, all evening long as we go. Nice and simple from Banter. Gets ahead before the braking zone and is in. That's Corkle's out. He's retired in the pit lane.
Oh, okay, pit lane. I think there was another yellow flag on track, but I didn't quite see what it was for. But luckily no more safety cars in this one. Luckily for Nice Job anyway, because at the moment he's still in control. ET8 Chris with a 3-second time penalty, and that's going to be a big problem in terms of the Ferrari 1-2 chances, as MX is only 1.7 seconds behind. He's looking for a P2 finish, would be great for the German driver, but Finley still sitting just behind a Nice Job now. I think those hards are in the better window than the mediums at this point, as Jay Hawes gets past Jackalacco in his charge back up through the field. Yeah,
I was just looking at the gap between Nice Job and Finley. It does look like those hards are coming into their own now, although Johan's just got past Lawrence on those fresh mediums, so I think pitting has helped them. I don't think these medium runners are going to be much faster for much longer. Nice Job he's not as close as he was a few corners ago, but he's definitely got a bit more, seems to have a bit more grip, seems to have a bit more confidence behind that car as opposed to the drivers on the mediums right now. So And it's about the time I said it would be, lap 20, lap 21-ish. So it's the crossover point now. And the question remains, how much further can those mediums go? Because they're asking them to go about 18 laps.
Yeah, it's a very long way to take those mediums. And Noise Job in the perfect position to take advantage if they do start having problems. And by how much faster he is than Finley at this point of the race, I think the hards are coming into their own. Jay Horse right behind RJ. Look at this, around the outside of the penultimate corner of the American driver. What a move from the Haas driver. Up to P9 he goes. Banter Brandon is the next car ahead.
That was fantastic. Great racing between the two. The room was left between them, and round the outside went Jay Horse. Had so much more grip, and I think, could be in for a podium here if he manages to continue cutting his way through the field and drivers do start falling to potential punctures as they go. Looks like Nice Job has caught up onto these two Alfa Romeos here. It's MX leading Finley Liverpool. I mean, if everything was to finish now, then Nice Job would finish ahead of Finley with his time penalties, as Jack Alaco gets a time penalty now. Jay Horse is on the hunt again. He's after your teammate, Ghost.
Yeah, here he goes. Banter Brandon in trouble here. Jay Horse clearly so much better on the braking and on the exit. Look at that, how close he was to the back of the AlphaTauri. I think this is going to be Jay Horse up to P8. Nothing Banter can really do about it, but he's still doing a decent job, or maybe there is something he can do. He's got so much more ERS. Is he going to fight the Haas? No, he's going to let Jay Horse go. Nearly hits the back of him through there, as Yaham is making progress as well, getting past the McLaren of Jack Alaco. And Finley getting passed by Noise Job in an unconventional part of the track. Round the outside goes the Mercedes. Fantastic move from Noise Job, and those hards are coming into play now. There's 6.5 laps to go in this race. Can Noise Job get himself, onto the podium at least, but could he maybe even catch Lifebout at this rate?
He possibly could. The gap is quite big though. It's 4.8 seconds, almost 5 seconds as Lifebout's eking it out. I'm sure Lifebout in the Banter's left the session. Oh, no.
Disaster as Finley dives down the inside of turn 1 on Noise Job. But Noise is going to have the better grip on the exit, but he gets a bit of wheel spin. He's still got the inside. They're going to be side by side through the S's. Noise Job just about ahead. There's contact, and Noise is round. Finley and Noise coming together. Disaster for the Mercedes driver after it was looking so promising. He's going to be absolutely furious with that. But RJ getting past Banter as well, who's still out of the session, unfortunately, and he's back in, but he's still got to get in his car. But Noise Job's going to be so furious about that, as he was looking for a certain podium.
Yeah, he was. That'll be something I'll be looking at later, I'd imagine. But not the best way for Nice Job's race to start concluding as we enter the dying stages of the race. But Speed Alcoholic has got a little bit of a train forming behind him. He's got Rick and Jay Horse. Jay Horse on those fresh and medium tyres. Everybody else on 13-lap-old mediums. I think Lifebout's checked out at this point. I don't think he's going to be under much threat. Unless a puncture does happen, I feel like he'll be in his cockpit saying, these tyres can go to the end. I feel like I know Lifebout well enough at this point. He'll
these
be
tyres
adamant.
can go to the end. Rick and Jay all side by side through the penultimate corner. The Haas driver trying to do the same thing he did to RJ, but can't make it yet.
Finley
It's Finley's round. Finley's round. Could it be karma for the incident with Noise Job? Who knows? But he's down to P12 now, and he's going to be fuming with that. Noise Job sticking in P7, but he's got RJ for company, who's going to dive down the inside into turn 1. Maybe has a little look, but doesn't go for it. Noise Job staying in 7th place for now.
He's got a great exit out turn 1. He's going to look to go around the outside here and toward the S's as well. That was a great little opportunistic move. Those mediums really coming into their own, and I think it might have been the right call here. Especially if you're Jay Horse, you're on the back of Rick, you're approaching the top 4, and I think a podium is set for this Haas car.
It could well be. He's just got to catch and pass MX, and then find 3 seconds. It's not going to be easy at all, but I think Rick's a sitting duck here to the Haas. Someone went round, that was Noise Job, went very squirrely on the exit of that corner and is going to lose time all the way down the straight. Disaster for him again. Rick has been passed, so J-Hall's up to P4. MX is the next car ahead, and it's looking like at the moment a Ferrari 1-2.
Down the inside of Jacko. Oh, he thought about it, just trying to scare Jack a little bit coming into turn 12. But Banter trying to make up for that time that he was idle in the race, trying to get back into the top 10.
Yeah, and the championship implications of this are huge, Sumo, because AlphaTauri were ahead by a comfortable margin, but with a Ferrari 1-2 and Banter down in 11th and me out. It's huge news for Ferrari, and they're going to take the lead of the constructors and also the drivers, as the lead is going to come down from 25 points to 4 after this race with 2 rounds to go, as Noise Job has come in and retired from the session. I think that's a little premature, but I do understand after the contact with Finley.
Yeah, that is not the best. I think he'll be heading straight to the steward's room once he's all out of the rig. And yes, it won't be that'll be something I'll be looking at a lot later, I think. I won't comment on it now. I'll stay impartial, as is my duty. But Paul from Finley, let's start through Finley shipping places.
Yeah, it's been a disastrous end to this Grand Prix for Finley and Noise Job. After their contact, it seems like everything's gone wrong for them in the last few laps. It is still a Ferrari 1-2, MX 3.5 seconds back. J-Hall's just about 2 seconds behind MX. It's going to be really tricky for him to get on the podium with the penalty he's got, as Banter gets back past Jacko again for P9.
Yeah, these two having a little bit of a tussle between each other. Jacko not giving in. He's got a lot more ERS spare, so this is going to be a bit of an uphill battle for Banter Brandon as he tries to claw back as many points as he can for AlphaTauri after a disastrous evening of racing. RJ looking pretty good at the moment as well. Everybody's kind of running their own thing, but look at that gap. Ghost is 1.5.
Yeah, he is approaching very fast, and MX is going to be looking in his mirrors very shortly. There's only 3 laps to go, though, so can J-Hall's find that 3-second gap on MX? I really doubt it, to be honest. I don't think there's enough time for him to get that time unless MX makes a mistake at some point. But yeah, J-Hall's going to really struggle to get himself on the podium, but it's still a fantastic recovery drive from him to get himself up to P4 from after pitting. But I think it may well have been the wrong decision when all is said and done, although maybe not, because if he didn't have the penalty he would have been third. So
yeah, I think he was due a podium if he pitted or if he didn't, but I don't know, it's hard to say. I mean, he's had some great pace, and here he comes now. It opens up the DRS. I don't think MX can fight this much, and there goes the Haas, gets the place, gets the job done, and now he's got to get his head down and open up that gap as much as he can. He's got nothing but clear air ahead of him, so he can really race along. He'll be hoping that Chris maybe makes a mistake for Chris to drop down into his clutches.
Lifeboat penalty.
Lifeboat penalty.
It doesn't matter at this point, though. He's too far ahead for it to matter, but those 16-lap-old mediums clearly struggling quite a bit at this point. Jacko got back past Banter, by the way, at the same place on the track. And MX just about staying within the DRS, but he's very wide at the final corner. That's going to lose him a lot of time down the straight towards turn 1. Can J-Hall's do this? He's got 2 laps to find 2 seconds on MX. It's not impossible. Those 17-lap-old mediums must be screaming.
Yeah, they'll definitely be aging now, and I'm interested to know what the percentages are on some of these tyres, especially those who have been fighting away in among the midfield. But it seemed it was a bit of a choice, really. A Speed gets a time penalty now. Only 4 drivers without penalties. Looks like the likes of Matty Man and JBS Steve are going for fastest lap, as they've got the soft compound tyres on.
for my sake, I hope they get it, because Lifebout currently has it. Yaham is going to have the DOS on Speed now down towards this corner on this long straight. Speed's got a lot more ERS. I don't know if he's going to fight it though. He might just let Yaham through because he knows he's got a penalty on that Aston Martin. And yeah, Yaham with the overspeed easily passed before the corner. Well, maybe not. Speed still had a look at the inside, and there could have been a bit of contact there as Speed nearly hit the back of the Alpine.
Yeah, Speed he did have a look, didn't he? And look, goes that gap. It's 2.6 between MX and Jay Hawes. He's really pulling out that time, and I'm not surprised with the tyre situation here in the race. The final lap has begun. Lifebout just crossed the line, so it's one more lap of racing to go. I think Jay Hawes might just be able to do this, although MX, he's a crafty fox, that one. He'll know what he's doing. He'll try and keep that gap to 3 seconds if he can. He'll use everything he's got at his disposal. It's fairly equal between the two of them, so we'll see as they keep going. Looks like RJ is coming under a bit of pressure now. He's got Jackalaka and Banter Brandon for company, but he's got no penalties, so he'll win out on them no matter what. We'll see. Let's take a look at the penalty situation. Hello, Marcus, as well in the chat. I did spot you. It was just lots going on. Let's have a look. Jay Hawes is 6 seconds, though, Ghost, actually, so it's not going to matter.
Oh, he's got 6 seconds. I didn't realise that. Well, there goes his podium chances, but he still should finish P4. Hence why MX let him pass so easily. But I just had a quick dash upstairs, Sumo, to have a look at the tyre percentages on telemetry. It looks like those who are still on those 18-lap-old mediums, about 70% on those tyres. So it's not actually that bad. I thought they'd be on 80 by now, but it looks like Lifebout's coming through the final few corners to take an emphatic victory and put this championship well back in the balance.
Oh, Jacko's got past RJ. It's not going to matter because of the penalties, and Lifebout is coming around the final corner now to win the Austin Grand Prix. It's been a great race for the Ferrari team, and he crosses the line, celebrates quite rightfully so. Goes to be absolutely gut-wrenched to hear these words of a Ferrari 1-2 crossing the line now. Then there's Jay Hawes, a valiant attempt to get himself on the podium, but it's going to go to the German MX in the Alfa Romeo. Then we've got Rick and Joachim crossing the line. Joachim snatches P5 away from the Dutchman after penalties, and then there's Speed and Jackalako, but RJ's going to come home in P8. And wow, what a race we've had.
What a race. Disaster for AlphaTauri in general, the constructors and drivers. The Drivers' Championship lead has gone from 25 points to 4 after this race, with 2 rounds to go. It is all in the balance as JB and Little Manny Man are going to round off the grid. And APPF1 still waits for the first race where someone who finishes the race doesn't get points, since the new point system came in, where it's only points for the top 15.
It was almost me last week. Almost. But then somebody crashed out and I scored a point.
Yeah.
One of my 3 points in Tier 1. I think I'm like 31st, no, like 29th or 28th in the championship. You know, look, I'm on there somewhere. 28th out of the 30 drivers who have competed in Tier 1 thus far. Wow, I think it must be something to do with me, the championship, I think. As Tier 2 has always brought up a great championship fight, and well, it's just all come crumbling down after this round. 2 rounds left, of course, the gap closing. We're just waiting for the results to pop up here so we can run you through this evening's race as it has folded. Wait for the Ferraris to come out. Lifebout's fallen over. What an idiot. But trophy there. I do like those. I do like these special Ferrari overalls. I think they look very nice.
I think they do. The livery's a bit. I don't like that yellow spot on the nose. I think it looks stupid, but the rest of it looks good.
Better than the last time they did that. Remember the all yellow jumpsuit?
Yeah.
Overalls. wasn't the most appealing one to look at. But here we are then. It's Lifebout on the top step of the podium, and he takes the fastest lap as well, Ghost. So you're not going to be too thrilled with that one. Then it's ET8 Chris and MX flanking him on either side of the podium. Then J Hawes and Yaham round off your top 5. Then we got the Dutchman Rick. Then there's Speed Alcoholic, RJ Blair, Jackalacko and Banter Brandon rounding off your top 10. Then we have Lawrence, Daphne Hillis, JBS Steve, Finley Liverpool, Little Manny Man, Nice Job, Mercedes F1 Core, Madman Ollie Oliver and Ghost all not finishing the race.
I'd just like to point out that the game gave Madman Ollie Oliver driver of the day, even though he DNF'd. So, yeah.
Oh, dear.
But, yeah, that was quite the race. I mean, both championships very mumuch alive. I'm just going to do a quick calculation on the constructors. So AlphaTauri had a 24-point lead heading into this one, but after this race, let me check. Banter came 10th, so that's 6 points. Ferrari's 1-2, so that is 37, so 31. So it'll be Ferrari 7 points ahead and at the top of the championship by round 8, which is incredible, really, given that the first, I think, 3 races were AlphaTauri double podiums or 1-2s.
Yeah, it's been quite the roller coaster of a championship, I think, and it's going to continue to be. As we close out the final couple of rounds. We're in Canada next week for the next round of the championship, which I may or may not be here for. I don't know. I will find out at some point. But it's been a good race out there. Championship opens up once again. Any final thoughts, Ghost?
Well, other than the championship now being close, I think that's all I have to say. We're heading to Canada next week, which should be a tricky race, so all to play for still. And that qualifying session of this race, by the way, that's probably the closest Tier 1 qualifying session ever in APPF1. Like 3/10 between the top 10. I mean, where are you going to see that other than esports?
Yeah, that was so close to watch, and I'm glad I managed to get in time to see the second half of qualifying, because having to do an update right before you're due to jump on for a stream is not ideal, but we move on. Anyway, that's going to wrap things up then. Hopefully we'll see you next Friday. If it's not me, hopefully it'll be somebody else giving all of the action out there to you folks. Thank you for everyone for joining in on the chat as well. Please do leave a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you've reached this point of the video, it all does help as we go along. But anyway, I'm going to wrap things up now. I have been Sumo.
I have been Ghost.
And, well, hopefully Ghost won't see you in the comms box next week on Friday, but I may certainly. But we'll see you next week for some more Tier 1 action. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.